What's up guys, and welcome to another YuGiOh Duel video. So, happy Ramadan to everyone who's celebrating it, and I hope you guys have a great one. Not to mention, have a great one this year, and I hope you spend it well with your friends and also your families. And for those of you who are going back to your own hometowns, please be safe, and I hope you guys get to arrive safely and have a great Ramadan this year. So first up on our agenda is that a new main box came just as I predicted, so that's pretty sweet. And let's check it out real quick, shall we? So I actually did a box opening yesterday when the box came out, but I forgot to do one important thing, and that was to actually turn on my microphone audio. That's right, I recorded the entire thing while making a lot of comments as well as what other contents are within these box. So long story short, for this entire box, it mainly supports Odd Eyes, Triple D, Super Heavy Samurais, Fluffals as expected, Ancient Gears, and also some other random cards like Breakthrough Skill, Dimension Slice, and also Frightfur Fusion. Aside from that, there are SRs like Volo Fengis, the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider, Fluffal Dog, Edge Im Chain, Sianka Magician, Triple D, King Abyss Ragnarok, Super Heavy Samurai Scales, Volcanic Queen, but we managed to obtain this in the previous event with Axel Brody, so we already have one copy. And A tier, the Evil Empowering Dragon, which was available in the selection box in the past, Ancient Gear Hunting Hound, Yosenju Orochi Channeling, Punch in the Box, and a few other rare and commons here which are crucial in building our Fluffal Frightfur deck. So first of all, I'd like to address the cards inside here like Ancient Gear Hunting Hound and also Ancient Gear Howitzer. So these two cards are mainly seen in the Arch 5 anime, and if you read Ancient Gear Hunting Hound's effect, if this card's normal summon inflict 300 burn damage, and also the second effect is when your opponent can activate spell traps until the end of damage step when this attacks. But on the third effect, once per turn, fusion summon Ancient Gear fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. That's right, you can now fuse Ancient Gear monsters without necessarily having a polymerization, so I do recommend picking up 2 copies of this card if you're going to run in the Ancient Gear deck. It's necessarily for fusion summoning if you want to do that, but if you do not want to go into fusion summoning, this card can be out of your deck if you want to, and that is fine as well. So for the card, the main UR card I managed to obtain is Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, and as you can see, it's an Xyz Pendulum. And here are the effects. As you can read, once per turn, you have no cost in your Pendulum Zone. You can place a Pendulum monster from your deck in your Pendulum Zone. Whereas in the second, for the monster effect, if 2 level 7 dragon type monsters, if you can Pendulum summon a level 7, you can Pendulum summon this face up card in your extra deck. If this card is Xyz summon using an Xyz monster as a material, destroy as many level 7 or lower monsters your opponent controls as possible. Inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each card destroyed, and if you do, this card can make 3 attacks during each battle phase this turn. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy as many cards in your pendulum zones as possible, and if you do, place this card in your pendulum zone instead. So aside from it being very flexible when it's destroyed, and also being able to summon out via level 7 monsters, which mainly Odd Eyes decks are often built from, you can easily splash this into your Odd Eyes deck, but if you do not want to place it in your Odd Eyes deck, you can play it inside any level 7 level 7 base kind of decks where you can pendulum summon and Xyz this monster easily if you want to. But yeah, this is what I do recommend. I do recommend playing this card in your Odd Eyes deck if you have the opportunity to do so. And next up is Triple D Super Doom King Dark Armageddon, Super Heavy Samurai, Warlord Susanoo, and also Frightfur Sabretooth. For Howitzer, it is a very special kind of fusion monster. It requires 2 Ancient Gear monsters. It's unaffected by other card effects. During your main phase, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent You can only use this effect of Ancient Gear Howitzer once per turn. If you discard this destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon one Ancient Gear from your deck ignoring its summoning conditions. So this way you can cheat out an Ancient Gear Golem and an Ancient Gear Beast without any trouble at all, because it does ignore the summoning conditions, therefore bring out your 3k monster and seeing how your opponent can go over that unless they have something with more than 3000 points of attack. And that's about it for this entire box for this time. And aside from that, the current event for Sora is still going on, with an addition of adding in action cards that you can actually adjust to your own liking. So currently I have Energy Biscuits, Wonder Chance, and also Fusion Grab in set. But you can unlock all these other action cards by completing certain missions. And before I go into that, this is basically my progress. I obtained pretty much more than 3 copies of every card for this particular event, and I can say I'm pretty much done for this Sora event. I unlocked Sora, and with a bit more I can complete the event and obtain the event completion icon. And what I mean by obtaining the action cards, here are certain requirements such as that will be listed in your events missions kind of page. So currently you can tribute summon a monster, obtain level down, or achieve 2 wins with 1000 or less life points left in your duel in Arch 5 duels. And aside from unlocking these other action cards, you can also unlock skills. So here are some skills that are new for Jaden Yuki, Valiant Crowler, Jaden Ubel, Yosakaki, and Yuto as well. There was also a new skill for Sora, but I managed to unlock that quite early on yesterday, and I'll go into that later. So if you want to check out these different other skills that are currently available, we can have a quick look at them. So first up is Favorite Duel, and this skill is used. You can only special summon Neo's monsters, Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman, and Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. Can be used twice per duel. Send an Elemental Hero from or Neospatian from your hand to the graveyard. Send Elemental Hero normal monster or Neospatian from your deck to the graveyard. Then add Miracle Fusion to your hand from outside of your deck. So aside from building up your graveyard, you're actually getting Miracle Fusion, giving you much more opportunities to go into different kind of fusion plays that you are currently planning to do. And aside from that, for Valiant Crowler, Battle Ancient Gear, each of the following effects can be used once per duel and twice per duel. Once per turn, twice per duel, sorry. During this turn, you can normal summon or set Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound without tributing. If you control Ancient Gear Golem, set a polymerization from outside of your deck during the end phase of this turn. Return that card to the very bottom of the deck. So you got to use this and to bring out your Ancient Gear monster, your Ancient Gear Golem fusion monsters quite easily without even playing polymerization in your deck. And you can also play Hunting Ancient Gear Hound, which allows you to fuse as well. So this is actually a skill that is heavily supported for Ancient Gear monsters, especially those of you who are going to play for fusion plays. But if you do not want to go for fusion plays, you can use your first skill to bring out your Ancient Gear Golem without tributing at all. Aside from that is that Jaden Ubel have new skills along Yosakaki and Yuto, and these two share the skill of Xiangke and Xiangsheng. So once per duel, add an odd dice pendulum with 2 and 500 attack or lower from your hand to your extra deck face up, and place a Xiangke Magician and one Xiangsheng Magician to your pendulum zones from your hand or deck. Then change the pendulum skill of Xiangsheng Magician in your pendulum zone to 8. This skill can only be placed or applied when you begin a duel with a deck, excluding extra deck that contains 5 level 4 and 5 level 7 monsters that contains no monsters other than Performer Pal, Aldice, Magician, Pendulum monsters. This is actually quite a great kind of support if you're gonna play for Xiangke and Xiangsheng for Yosakaki. But for Yuto's case, since he's using Phantom Knights, if you don't want to go for the pure character archetype, you can go for this kind of play if you're gonna go for Yuto and for Pendulum Summoning. And yes, this is pretty interesting to see as well. And aside from that, here's basically a sneak preview of my current frightfur and fluffal deck. So as you can see, I managed to obtain a number of fluffals and also HM cards, which allow me to bring up into my fusion plays as well as bring out more frightfur monsters like Tiger and also Daredevil. So because Daredevil is much more flexible in terms of fusioning summoning materials, you can basically use either HM Sabers or even HM Tomahawk to bring out this particular monster. And if you do manage to obtain a Frightfur fusion, I do recommend putting it inside your deck because this card can save a lot of time. Not to mention using Tomahawk's effect, you can mill your Sabers from your deck to your graveyard, and by using its own effect of sending a card from your hand to the top of your deck, you can special summon this monster and proceed into whatever fusion plays you are planning to do. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. It's gonna be that for now, and I'll post something tomorrow, so do keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be something of me trying out my frightfur fluffal kind of deck. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And also, once again, I like to say Happy Ramadan, Eid Mubarak to those who are celebrating. And I hope this year goes well for you. And I hope you are having a lot of great food and great snacks and cakes, because I am looking forward to seeing some of them appear on my Twitter feed. So until then, see you, stay safe, but most important of all, keep dueling. Goodbye, good night, and see ya.